For the Eagles. This is Fulton Walker, number 41, bringing it out to the 20 to the 25-yard line, and Los Angeles will set it up there. The Raiders directed by the 38-year veteran Jim Plunkett, who in 5 days will be 39, the oldest quarterback in the NFL. And this is what he will face defensively. Reggie White, he is a force in the league at that defensive end spot. The linebacking Gary Cobb, who played here in the Coliseum for the Trojans of USC. And Roynell Young, in the estimation of Buddy Ryan, the best he's been around in his years in the NFL. He's been playing superbly. Just short of the 25, that's where Plunkett and the Raiders will set it up. In motion goes Barksdale. They're going to give to Marcus Allen, and Allen will get to the 28-yard line, a pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. The Raider offense, well, Allen is feeling the best he's felt in a long time. He's been plagued by ankle problems for 2 months. And up front, Don Mosbar, watch him. They think he's the best center in the NFL right now. And Todd Christensen, with 4 catches today, would have 80 for the year. That would be the 4th straight year he's had 80 or more receptions in a season.
Off the bat, you can tell how much they respect that middle of the Raider line. Reggie White is playing on the nose of the center instead of the left end position. Now he's back out at left end. He was on the nose in the first play.
He'll be moving around. And moving around is Marcus Allen, but he's tripped up. Excellent job by the middle linebacker, Mike Reichenbach. Reichenbach, 55 over to make the stop. It'll bring up 3rd down now. 7 yards to go for Los Angeles. Hank, despite the fact this team has been losing, they're 3-9. Their defense has played tough, especially the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, they have a very tough, aggressive philosophy, the same one that, Buddy used with the Chicago Bears. And I guarantee you, everybody that plays them have a lot of respect for the way they're playing defensively. They're getting better offensively, but this is a young team they'll have to contend with in the future.
Buddy Ryan's team now has the Raiders to a 3rd and 7. In motion comes Barksdale. Plunkett. Protection is there. A flag on the play. And he overshoots Marcus Allen at the 40-yard line, but a penalty flag thrown at the line of scrimmage.
And that's the kind of a game we're going to see here, Gary. We're going to see a lot of big play opportunities.
Punt all that while a week ago Thursday had a 28 and a 7-yarder. Will punt to this man, Greg Garrity. The veteran hit it, but not exceptionally well. Garrity, having some traffic and trouble, comes up with it. There's a penalty flag thrown. Garrity had people flying by. Good concentration on his part after a 35-yard punt.
You mentioned Ray Guy. I don't think he's kicking quite as aggressively as he used to in the past. I don't think he's bringing his leg up nearly as high as he used to. He used to come way up above his head. It still comes up high, but not as high as he used to be, and I think really that's the difference. That time, of course, he didn't have much of a chance.
Number 33.
For the first time, and here's an exciting player. Randall Cunningham, 2nd-year man out of University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Sends in motion. The tight end Spagnola. Junior Todolatasi, starting in place of the rookie Keith Byers, picks up a yard, and that's all. Let's look now at the Raiders defensively. Howie Long is back after a 2-game absence, and they are concerned where he lines up. He'll move all along that defensive line. Jerry Robinson playing against his former teammates, traded a year ago to the Raiders from Philadelphia. And back deep, Mike Haynes. The Eagles talked about him all day yesterday. They said he's like a shadow out there. He's such a great technician at that defensive back spot.
And talking about a shadow, you're going to have to have somebody shadowing Cunningham most of the afternoon because he's a runner.
Problems with the snap. Cunningham has to get on top of it. He and Matt Darwin, one of the many young players up front in this offensive line, not making the connection. Let's look at the rest of this Eagle offense. We mentioned Darwin. He's a rookie. Baker is the only veteran up front, the only guy that started every game at an offensive line spot. 3rd down 10 for the Eagles. Cunningham, the blitz. He is buried. That's Jeff Barnes, 56. And that is the lack of protection security, Coach, you were talking about.
That's right. And that time Howie Long was lined up on the nose of the center, and they think they can do some business against Darwin, their center. And he got good penetration, too, talking about Howie Long, number 75. And their defense takes on a different personality completely when he's in the game. Plus the fact they use him at left end, left tackle, and nose man. He plays all 5 positions at different times during the course of the game.
Coach, they did some business there. Fulton Walker will go back to receive the punt from John Telchik. Walker, who for so many years did an outstanding job for Don Shula and the Miami Dolphins. Not an exceptionally high kick. To the 30-yard line comes Walker. 35, 40, 45, 50. He's to the 40 of the Eagles. The 30. He may go all the way.
School is out.
Fulton Walker. Walker, who last year led the NFL in punt return yardage, just went 70 yards with that one. We welcome those of you who have been watching the Vikings and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Just a moment ago, this guy, Fulton Walker, went 70 yards on the first punt of the game to give the Los Angeles Raiders a 6-0 lead. Chris Barr to add the point after. 7-0 now the score.
And Stacy Turan made a nice block. Here you see Walker catch the ball number high, going down the left sideline. Let's see if we can see the block by Stacy Turan. We don't. But anyway, he makes a quick decision, goes right down the sideline, goes all the way for the touchdown. They change the scoreboard, 70 yards. Walker coming back. Here you see him. There you see a block by, there you saw it on the left corner of your picture, Stacy Turan making a key block. But here's Fulton Walker coming down the sideline with the ball in the wrong arm. But it doesn't make any difference. It's good for distance.
I was going to say, they're going to give him 6 points anyway, right?
That's right.
Doesn't matter. You know what was interesting about that play, Coach, was it was a low kick, and it gave Walker time to get up the field.
It was on a trolley line, no question about it. It was a low kick, a frozen rope, and anytime you get one like that, you've always got a chance to get back there and make a big play, and they certainly took advantage of the situation there.
Well, Buddy Ryan says every week we have found a different way to lose, and I'm sure he didn't like what just developed in front of him. That is the longest return by a Raider since '84, when Cleo Montgomery went 69 yards in a punt return against the Detroit Lions. So 7-0. And Hank, when you're not winning, when you're 3-9, you've lost 4 in a row by a total of 12. You don't need this kind of adversity early.
Well, no, and it's tough to play catch-up football against a team like the Raiders because they're so good defensively. They slacked a little bit without Howie Long, but he's back in the lineup. It'll be interesting to see what happens from here on in the rest of the afternoon. But they put a lot of pressure on you.
Kicking off is Barr. Catalatasi will be bringing it out for the Eagles. He'll get to the 18-yard line, and that's all. And so Philadelphia will have the football for the second time.
The excitement of a professional athlete. He talked really like a young high school kid playing in the first big game.
He is a scary football player. He can cause a lot of problems. But right now his team trailing 7-0. Cunningham trying to get something started. Tries to hit Kenny Jackson. And at the 30-yard line, it's incomplete because Lester Hayes, who is as physical as any cornerback in the NFL, over there and made sure that connection was not made.
He loves the challenge of one-on-one, bump and run defense. Lester Hayes, number 37. And he said yesterday at practice, he said, trying to get a shot at a receiver coming off the line of scrimmage, I try to hit him with a good shot on his left arm with my right hand, and then watch his eyes and watch his hands as far as coverage is concerned.
You can see his next interception will tie Willie Brown, the Hall of Famer. This time, nothing developing. Catalatasi was swarmed for a loss inside the 15-yard line. Great reaction by Bill Pickell, the nose guard. And Hank, you said it very well. They just come after you, especially when they get a lead.
Oh, they really do, and they're so aggressive. And a lot of people say they intimidate you, and they do a lot of teams. The one thing that Buddy Ryan felt coming into the game, I just want this young team to be tough and stand up and fight them. What happens, we naturally want to win the game, but we want to fight them and react to the fight. And it's going to be interesting to see how they respond to that challenge this afternoon physically.
Right now, they're on the ropes a little bit. Third down coming up. Long yardage, 3rd and 13. Cunningham with good protection. Excellent protection. Up the field, and the catch is almost made by Jackson. Lester Hayes is there again. Twice now, Hayes has been on top of Jackson. That time preventing a long completion from Cunningham to Jackson.
Here's Jackson coming off the line of scrimmage, 81. He doesn't get a bump. Lester Hayes, he's just running with him. He's watching him. Now he takes a peek for the ball, which he doesn't do very often, and he loses a step, and the ball is right up on top. And and it looked like it should have been caught. It came right over the top, but Lester Hayes made contact right about the time he was making the catch and gets his right hand a little bit close to his neck, and he drops the ball.
I think he obstructed his vision with that hand reaching out there.
I think he did, yeah.
Lester Hayes, who's 15 pounds lighter than a year ago, able to run with him on that play. Here's the punt now by Pelchick. Big rush. He got it high. Here's Fulton Walker. What if he's caught his breath after the last punt return? He will fair catch the ball at the 38-yard line. A 47-yard punt that time by Pelchick. So for a second week in a row, Philadelphia's given up a long punt.
Getting better, too. They're doing something, too. With all those losses, they're hanging in there.
Skins putting some pressure on the Giants, who play tomorrow night against San Francisco. First down now at the 38-yard line. Jim Plunkett setting up with a good protection. Near side, and Rod Barksdale can't hang on. So the big play of this game, for those of you who joined us early or late in this game, was this play by Fulton Walker.
And the key really is how decisive he was. He made a move. He got a good block in advance by Stacy Turan, number 30. But he goes all the way for the touchdown, and they go ahead after the extra point, 7-0.
Longest Raider return since 1984. And there he is, Fulton Walker, out of West Virginia. Standing punt returner for the Dolphins, and now for the Raiders. Second down 10 now for Los Angeles.
And Reggie White is playing on the nose of the center to kind of fortify that inside and take care of Mosbar. And they do a good job that time. No real estate on the play.
No real estate because Gary Cobb, 50, was there, stands him up, drives him back. Cobb playing very well for this Philadelphia team. He was the Sports Illustrated Defensive Player of the Week for his play against Atlanta earlier this year. In that game, he had 4 sacks. Looking at his arms, Hank, use one of your expressions, looks like he has helium in those arms.
Yeah, either that or he looks like his legs are hanging out of his sleeves. He's kind of pumped up.
He was a weightlifter of the year 3 different times when he was at the Detroit Lions.
He said he went over to the filling station the other day, got a valve sewn on him, and pumped him up a little bit.
Third down now. 10 yards to go. Plunkett's going to go down. Good pressure put on. And they're going to be blown dead. The ball getting loose at the 30-yard line. That was Reggie White, the man that the Raiders were so concerned about. White with 8 sacks coming into this game. You know, they talk about Howie Long. They think this is the next Howie Long in Reggie White season. So it brings up a 4th down. Ray Guy will punt for the second time. 9:31 to go in this first quarter. 7-0, Los Angeles. This time, Guy hits it high. Greg Garrity at the 27. And he does a very good job across the 40 to the 43-yard line before Lyndon King, the former San Diego Charger, over to make the stop. 44-yard punt, an 18-yard return, and the Eagles will have it for the third. They're now going to 7-6 with that victory. First down now.
And they're going to bump and run on the outside. No, they're going to run the ball instead.
Well, they're going to try to run it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, they ran the counter play that time with the off guard and off tackle pulling on the play. They got penetration, and that's the one thing that kills that play is penetration. The Raiders got penetration that time, and for that reason lost some yardage on the play. But I think, Gary, that any time you have bump and run, meaning that the outside receivers are covered on the line of scrimmage, you've got to take a chance of going up on top for the big play. You might make the reception, plus the fact that you might get pass interference, but you got to take advantage of the big play opportunities. They didn't on the last play.
That was Millen and Jerry Robinson who stuffed it for a yard loss. Second down, 11. Here's Cunningham. The protection is there. A bullet. It's caught, but they're not going to make very much yardage on that one. Todd Latasi made the catch, but instantly going over there was Jerry Robinson as the Raiders sniffing that one out very well. And boy, that ball was thrown hard that time. It's, I think, remarkable. Todd Latasi was able to hang on to it.
Yeah, I think that's true. And plus the fact that I think Todd Latasi that time was running an option pattern, meaning that he has the option of going outside or inside on the linebacker. In this particular case, Jerry Robinson, number 57. But the ball was thrown right on the money, and he didn't have a chance to do much at all except protect himself and catch it. Third
down now, 10 yards to go. 2 wideouts to the near side. Jackson along with Mike Quick. That's Quick, 82, in motion. Cunningham's in trouble, and he knew it. Howie Long was there. Also getting there was Stacy Turan, the strong safety. That's the second sack now by the Raiders.
They go after you aggressively, and with the offensive line, with the offense having 73 sacks, look at this. Look at the blitz. Howie Long coming from the outside, and, of course, Stacy Turan, number 30, coming up the middle from the safety blitz. But we talked about security being the key. And there's a great illustration of it. You can get people open, but the problem is getting the ball downfield because they rush the passer. So